My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Hey folks, do you have single family rentals and you're looking for something a little bit different to increase the cash flow, maximize the profitability of your properties? Well, if so, pay close attention, because today, zooming in, we have a very, very experienced mid-term rental expert, William Dotson, who is zooming in today from beautiful Washington State, but originally and based out of Nashville, Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. So, William, welcome to the call. Great to have you.
Thanks for having me on. Yeah, appreciate it.
My pleasure. So, you do a couple of things. You have a portfolio of your own furnished midterm rentals, maybe some unfurnished as well. And then you also manage a whole bunch of other people's midterm rentals as well, help them out with that. Tell us a little bit about the business. Tell us, first of all, about your personal portfolio. I think it's you and your wife that are doing this. Like, how many properties, what locations typically, where do you have these kind of properties? You're zooming in from Washington State, so you're doing something there right now. Tell us a little bit about that side first.
Yeah, we started off in California. So we own 2 midterm rentals in California. They're larger properties, 4 bedrooms and up. We found out that was a solid need in that area, specific area, Southern California, Orange County. And so there's 2 there in California. Then we have a total of 8 that we own in Nashville, Tennessee, all furnished midterm rentals. I also manage 20 other midterm rentals in Nashville. So our portfolio in Nashville alone is 28. And then we're opening up a new chapter out here in Washington, in Birch Bay. My wife's from Vancouver, Canada, so we had to get closer.
Well, hey, I already like your wife because I'm from Kamloops, British Columbia, Canada, just up the road from Vancouver. So there you go.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, we have a 3-year-old. So one of the things about investing and the freedom of investing was just that when she woke me up and she said, "Hey, I put an offer in on a house." And I instantly, she makes very smart decisions. She actually was the entrepreneur that got me into entrepreneurship. She runs her own business, been doing it for about 15 years now. She runs a sales recruitment agency, a headhunter. Nice. So she got me into it. So she makes smart moves and I trust her. But yeah, that's what brought us out here. And it really just, the strategy that we implement and the type of properties that we're looking for, she knows, I know. So that's we're out here.
Okay, so well, let's dive into that then, William. Tell us a little bit about what kind of properties typically make a really good, profitable midterm rental?
3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, fenced-in yard, make it pet friendly.
Instant yard, did you say?
Fenced in, make sure that yard is fenced in
yard and pet friendly. Yeah.
Because the idea is this: we're housing displaced families. These are homeowners. And when you Google what is the percentage of homeowners that have pets, it's roughly about 75 to 80%.
Wow. Really? I didn't know that.
So if your place isn't pet friendly, you're missing out on hundreds of thousands of leads. If it's a cat, even, it's a problem, right? For a lot of people. But for us, it's a problem worth solving. So we solve it and we profit on it and we make the families happy. Every problem has a solution.
Okay, so let's back out a little bit. Tell us a little bit about who your end user is, because again, it's a little bit different than some of them must be thinking, because some people are thinking midterm rentals, furnished rentals. Okay, we're looking for doctors and nurses that are temporarily in the area, yada, yada. You're going after a completely different group. Tell us a little bit about that.
Exactly. Yeah. In the midterm rental space, you have corporate housing, right? And mainly midterm, it falls into that 30-day or more,
Right.
So yeah, you have corporate housing, could be executives, could be, corporate. You have the medical professionals, doctors, nurses, same thing, 30-day or more stays, usually 3 months. But what we specifically focus on with Nova Havens, we focus and work directly with insurance companies, be it Allstate, State Farm, or the insurance relocation companies that these larger agencies utilize to find adequate housing, temporary housing, furnished or unfurnished accommodations. And then these companies and the insurance companies, they tap into my company to really find those hard to get or those difficult properties to find, especially in rural areas. And we're talking 30-day stays to start with, minimum.
Hmm.
The average
So,
stay. Mhm.
sorry, that was my next question. What is the average stay?
Yeah, we're looking at 3.5 months, and that's average, meaning sometimes we get 1 month, which is very rare, but it happens.
Hmm.
Someone's bedroom floods and they need to live somewhere else for a month. I say that's probably 5% of what we receive.
Wow.
On average, we get four, and especially the way we're at right now, especially with the Hurricane Helen happening, when those properties are flooded, we're talking those are what in our industrial, or in our terminology we'll use category 3, meaning
Yeah.
it's not the
It's a
bathtub.
it's a big deal.
It's a big
Mhm.
deal.
Yeah.
So we're looking at 6 months, possibly even a year. And I've housed, several where we're way past the year mark. And
Wow. Okay. This brings up a lot of questions in my mind, William. So
let's
bear
go.
with me. I'm going to hit you with a few. So, okay. So you're actually averaging 3 or 4 months with these stays. These are typically people that it's an insurance claim is why they need to be doing this. One question came to mind. You talk about furnished versus unfurnished. Why on earth would anybody in that situation want an unfurnished property for a midterm rental?
It's mainly from a business standpoint. So, and then two, inventory. So, for example, if I get a call for something in the middle of North Dakota, last time I checked, there's very few Airbnbs, but there's a lot of long-term
Yeah.
rentals. And
Okay.
those are all normally unfurnished, looking for a 12-month lease. So that's where sales comes in, because someone like me will call someone who is a traditional investor,
Mhm.
right? 12 months and that's it. They've been doing it for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Me knocking on their door is I'm a nuisance, because I'm explaining to them a different methodology to use now, this week. We need it. So the psychology of all that is what we specialize in, and we do it all the time. We explain to them the benefits. We really explain to them the family that's moving in, give them, the history and what's going on, more than just, hey, we need your home. It's more than that. This is a human to human business, and
Yeah.
human to human, we find out what they're needing. If they need 12 months, well, there's plenty of room for negotiation, whether it's a premium, whether it's documentation of insurance or coverage or liability, whatever it is. We have a toolbox that we use that's just one after
So
the
you're
next.
not locking in for 12 months with these guys, even though that's what they're looking for, but you're offering that you're enticing them with other things that they might find appealing. So question, who furnishes it? How does it get furnished in that kind of situation?
We have That's where relationships comes in.
Yeah.
Majority of the time, they have companies such as Court, which is nationwide. That's really the main one that we use. Besides
Is it a
Court,
furniture rental company or what do they do?
yeah, that's
Got it.
a temporary, it's a rental furniture company. They're nationwide. They have warehouses throughout the nation, and they can
Got
travel
it.
distances to do whatever. They work magic.
No, and they can
Um,
just install everything and it's all set up and ready to go. Nice. Makes
but
sense.
there's a lot of there's a lot of new companies, mom and
Mhm.
pop companies that have, and it's a beautiful thing that I'm recently, about the past 9 months, I've been encountering these smaller players that are around the nation that simply have storage units that are full of furniture, or even that owned a furniture company, went out of business. Now they're just holding onto all this furniture,
Yeah.
tapping into these players in mainly the metro market. So you got Chicago, you have LA, New York, these bigger markets, and calling them up. And it's just the same thing as business to business. It's not corporate, it's just mom and pop working with someone like me. And
Mhm.
we're able to get things done faster, even.
Okay, good. What would you say? Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. So that it's not so much that the landlord is looking to rent out their unfurnished place midterm. It's you convincing them and showing them the benefits of doing that. Got it. All right. Now, the other question I had for you was, so we're dealing with these insurance type claims, how close do you typically have to be to the claimant's original property for them for this to work? So, for example, at the time that we're recording this, Hurricane Helene just wiped out great chunks of different states, and there's another one barreling through Florida tomorrow, I believe. So and for example, so if Tampa gets bashed and you've got hundreds of thousands of people that need this service in Tampa, how far away are they going to be able to go to get this kind of housing, or are willing to go or have to go? How does that usually work?
We've housed 8 families today from Tampa that went to Nashville.
Wow.
Yesterday, we did 5 from Asheville, North Carolina that went to Nashville.
Mm.
And it's because Nashville didn't get hit. And
So
it's
it
close
really
enough.
it's not about, hey, where my job is, where the kids are going to school, any of that stuff. It's just, hey, where is available?
When you have a whole city decimated,
Yeah.
you're no longer playing. Normally, it's a 10-mile radius of the lost address.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game. 10-mile radius of
For a
the
normal
lost address.
flooding situation that's not a hurricane. Got it.
The
Yeah.
closest thing possible that is like, kind, and quality, those are
Mm.
the magic words. That's the insurance terminology. Like, kind, and quality. If you have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a pool in the back, you find the closest 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a pool in the back to that property. You have the family do a walkthrough, or at times if the home is occupied, you send a walkthrough video. The family
Mm.
has to approve. We get everything signed,
Got it.
sealed, delivered, and they move in.
All right. That makes a lot of sense. Interesting business model. Okay. Now, from a landlord's point of view, an investor, somebody who owns these properties, compare and contrast the big benefits of doing this versus traditional rentals, or trying to, do their own short-term rentals, or something like that.
So numbers with midterms, I tell people to start off with imagine that you will be occupied 9 months out of the year.
That was another question I was going to have, is what's your
It's
occupancy rate? Yeah. Okay. 9 months of the year.
That's a safe number. And the
Okay.
reason why is because you're looking at housing someone, like we said in the beginning, and normally it's a 3.5 month occupancy at a time. Let's just go ahead and round it up to 4. So
Mhm.
let's just say, 3.5, 4, that's the sweet spot, right?
Yeah.
Well, 4.5, 4 month, 4 month, 4 month. It never happens back to back. So let's just squeeze in a month in those two. And when we look at the calendar, we have 12 months. And let's just say we have 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. That's 9.5. So we're looking at a total of 2.5 months of vacancy just off of that math right there.
Yeah.
And then we go ahead and stretch it out and say 3 months. So that's what I tell people, just blanket statement. And nothing ever works as a blanket, right? I have
Sure.
properties that are literally 100% occupied because the day they're moving out, I got another moving in. Why?
But for safety, it's 75% occupied is what you're looking at.
Yeah, and that's where utilizing someone like me or someone in this space that really understands it, we're able to. Everything is negotiation.
Mhm.
The better negotiator you are. So if you have a family that needs a place today, but your place is going to be coming available in, let's say, 2 weeks, you ask them, would this other home be an option for you? Or would this, and you talk to them, you hear what they need, what they're looking for, you give them another solution, you move, so it's a lot of chess moving, pieces moving
Yeah.
here and there. So for a traditional investor looking at it as black and white, it's not. We live in the gray area and we love it. And that's where the mind shift happens and you see the profit. Even looking from a long term, let's say you have a long term rental that rents out for, $2,000 a month, unfurnished, and you're
Perfect.
getting that 12 months out of the year. So you're expecting 24,000 yearly. That's it. Well, my company says, hey, not only will we, furnish the unit and do all this, but we're willing to pay you double what you're looking at, right? So that's an incentive to incentivate you.
Double per year or
Double per
double
month.
per month. Got it. Okay.
And normally whenever we go for an unfurnished rental, we're normally looking for 3 to 6 month bookings. And that normally happens from fire claims. So a fire claim, for example, they like to start off at the lowest possible, which for a fire is like 6 months. Well, if anyone in this space knows that there's a fire claim is always going to go about 9 to 10. So of course we're going to book it for the 6. Like I said, we offer a premium for the stay so that the unfurnished traditional landlord understands, hey, okay, at least by renting to this company in 6 months, I'm going to make what I make in a year.
Right.
And he's saying that this is a bare minimum. I mean, you do the math.
Yeah. 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 Very, very cool. All right. So, and if somebody's looking at this and they're saying, hey, okay, maybe I want to get into this midterm rental space and I've got a property and I'm willing to furnish it out, what kind of recommendations do you have as far as furnishing goes?
Make it a place that you wouldn't mind sleeping in.
Yeah.
I like to say every one of my rentals, they're sleeping in my bed.
Mm.
That's what I think of. And when it also puts you in a good mind frame where you're sharing pillows with your guests. You know, it's a human business. If your heart's
Mhm.
not in it, you're not going to win it. You're just not.
Now, nitpicky detail type stuff. So, utilities and cable TV and internet and all that kind of stuff. Is the landlord typically, is that all included in the price?
No.
No? Okay.
Normally, the utilities adjusters, who in the insurance world, adjusters are the ones, they're the gatekeeper. They're the
Yeah.
ones saying, yes, that is fine to be billed. We could pay this, we could pay that, we could pay. So the adjusters hate utilities. The way they see it is the insured or policyholder, since they're not paying utilities in their residence, why would the insurance cover it in a new home?
Yeah. True.
So adjusters really like it when we let them know that, hey, this pricing is this pricing, but the utilities is something that you let us know what you want to do. It's not at the end of the day, we're offering a service to benefit the family. That's the
Mm.
main objective. Everything else is sure the investors come second. It really does. The most
Mm.
important thing, and that's even when I talk to investors and they're thinking money, money, money. I said, fall back. Sit, please. Understand the family comes first. And you as an investor, I understand what you want, and we will check all those boxes. The utilities is something that more than likely the families will pay for. I always tell everyone that each claim is a snowflake. It's very unique, you know. And I've
Yeah.
run into 10, I could have 10 claims in this exact same city, the exact same house type to the T, same pets, same child, same everything. Every single one will be different just because of the adjuster that you're working with.
Very interesting, William. So tell us a little bit about your management side of your business. How that I'm getting the picture of it indirectly, but how does that kind of work? Um, how do you get compensated? Is that a percentage of rent? Do you get compensated by the insurance companies? Those kind of things, just for transparency, so people know exactly how this works.
Yeah. So for my properties that I personally manage, we charge 20% of the gross monthly income. And what you're also getting with that, normally, I mean, I have partners that charge 25% because they do this and this. We keep it at 20%, which in our eyes is very fair, just because you're not only getting property management, but you're getting this small little niche, this niche right here that is this insurance world that a lot of people aren't playing in. And a
Yeah.
lot of people aren't mastering it. Me and my company, we obsess over it and we go as deep, as deep, as deep. We know who's in it. We understand how it works. So that's the benefit of working with us.
Yeah.
Not
So it's not
only
just management, it's the marketing side of things as well, which is big, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah, we know all the databases. You have ALE Solutions, CRS, you have Sedgwick, you have THD, which is now Alacrity. You have all these different companies that may be a foreign, foreign word to most people, but
Yeah.
to us, it's the air that we breathe and it's the ocean that we swim in, and we love it. Not only from helping the families, but also working with other companies that their main objective is let's help families, and that's it. So from a management point of view, when someone onboards with us, we evaluate the property first to see, is it pet friendly? What do we need to make it pet friendly? We do our audit. In that audit, it comes with either you can hire our services, an onboarding fee if it takes us 10 to 30 hours. However, we work all that out. We issue an invoice for that service. Then once the property is onboarded, we're listing it on over 35 platforms, which is very important. And when people say, "Oh, why so many? Why so little?
Yeah, why not?
Why so
Yeah.
little?" I pay money for exposure. I have very, very close friends of mine where we're constantly creating larger and larger databases because at the end of the day, this is an inventory business. You never know what's going to land on your desk. And the more you have in your inventory, the more likely you're going to be able to find a faster solution for the family. And so at the end of the day, that's our business model. Like I said, Nashville is really our hub. That's where my family, we're out there about 5 months, 6 months out of the year. So when we're there, we're growing and we're making sure the properties are up to date. We have a great crew. I have a partner that's full, boots on the ground there for anything that happens, or, she, checks the families in and walks the property with them. It's a white glove service. And then even in California and Washington and other states, every state I partner with someone to make sure that they're getting that white glove service. And it's not just here's a key, see you later, but you're really seeing our presence throughout your stay. So you're taken care of.
Awesome, William. If people want to connect with you and find out more about how this works, where should they go?
Novahavens.com. Submit your property. Like I said, it's an inventory game. So submit your property to our database. It's the easiest way for me and my team to see it, to be exposed to, not only to our marketing campaigns, when we're advertising the availability of your property to these companies, but also to land a contract and help a family.
Very good. Sounds like a very interesting business that you've got. Congratulations, and I wish you all the best moving ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody, take care, and we'll see you on the next episode. Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewyou.com. Now, at moneypartnerformula.com, we help real estate investors to create a process for predictably getting capital so they can do more deals without relying on hard money lenders or the banks. We do this by building them a private capital marketing system. Now, if you want help turning yourself into a big money capital attraction machine, then book a call with our team to see how we can help. Just visit moneypartnerformula.com to find out more. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next interview.